Mansoor, how does it feel to be repping DBU for LSU?
It's just a blessing to keep this legacy going. That's another reason I came to LSU, was just uphold the tradition for the people who came before me and the people who are coming after me.
What would you say about yourself?
I say I just play the game with maturation. Play the game. Play it smartly. Play it confidently. Just at a high level. I think that's one of my greatest attributes. I think I'm very scheme versatile. You can fit me in any scheme, and I excel at it.
Mansoor, can you speak about maybe playing in the state of Louisiana, staying in the state of Louisiana, and playing for a Brandon State defense that utilizes
For sure. Just playing for the state of Louisiana, it's a blessing. When I came to LSU, I had to kind of get used to the culture, but I quickly learned that football meant everything down there. And it was just a blessing to be a part of.
Mansoor, what aspect of your game do you feel like is underrated that evaluators might not be talking about enough?
I say my physicality. I like to show up in the run game, as a corner. Sometimes that goes, unnoticed, but, I take that personal, being physical in the run game.
So you allowed 7 touchdowns in 2024, and then this year you allowed a single one against harder competition. What was really that jump for you, and how did you make that possible?
For sure, consistency. That was the biggest thing for me. I always had the talent, but it was just being able to put it all together at once. When I came to LSU, just taking one play at a time, next play mentality, being locked in every snap.
Mansoor, what was your memories playing in Archbishop Spalding, and who were some of the coaches?
For sure. Coach Tyrone, Coach Schmidt, love those guys. Coach Schmidt just went to the University of Maryland. So really just a college-like system, just at a young level. So when I came to college, it wasn't too big for me. It's nothing I haven't seen before.
Do you think the next generation of DMV guys are going to still
For sure, the DMV has some a lot of unhidden talent that people don't know. Sometimes we don't get the respect California, Texas, Florida may get because we're a smaller state, but I think there's a lot of talent in such a small state.
How do you see your talent translating today?
That's to be determined, but I'm excited, man. I'm confident in my ability. I'm a guy who I think soaks up, knowledge. I'm just ready to be a sponge to all those guys in the NFL and just learn as much as I can.
Mansoor, why are you the best corner in this class?
Why I'm the best corner in the class? You cut the film on. Speaks for itself.
Mansoor, what traits would you bring to the Saints defense if they really draft you?
You said the Saints defense? Just really being able to fit it in any scheme. I think, whether it's a man zone, any play nickel, safety corner, I think I'm a person who can do it all, whether that's any team.
Mansoor, what have been your interactions?
Not yet.
Mansoor, what have been your interactions with the Los Angeles Rams if you had any?
I haven't. I had a formal with them. That's about it. And then just looking forward to keep talking to them.
What are some of the most important things you learned at LSU on and off the field?
Off the field, on the field, I say just as a standard. That's the biggest thing Coach Raymond talked about, the standard at LSU. So once you kind of set a standard, you have to uphold it, and I took that personally.
Mansoor, in your opinion, can I get your top 5 corners today in the game?
Top 5 corners in the game, no order. Quinyon Mitchell, I say Pat Surtain, Derek Stingley, Devin Witherspoon, J.C. Horn.
What do you remember about playing for Ryan Smith at Virginia Tech? What was your relationship like with him?
Yeah, that was my guy. He recruited me to Virginia Tech, but before I got there, he wasn't able to stay. But maybe we'll be able to reunite.
Did you have a formal visit with him in the Cowboys?
Today.
Mansoor, you mentioned JC is one of your top 5. What is it you like about JC's game?
I think his press technique. I'm a studier of the game, especially the NFL. I think he's a very cerebral guy. I think that he lurks well in cover 3. Just in his ability to mirror receivers.
That's a Panthers corner duo that has led the league the past 2 seasons as well in passes defense. How would you see yourself maybe fitting into a secondary like that?
In where? What team?
In that Panthers corner duo with JC and Mike Jackson. They've led the league the past 2 seasons. How would you see fitting into a unit like that?
For sure. I would want to be a sponge. I just want to learn from guys like that, man. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I'd like to surround myself with high caliber talent that that I just soak up, and I try to bring and add new things to my game. So I love to be a part of something with people with high caliber players.
And then you mentioned your versatility. Have teams talked about using you in different ways? Like where have they had you?
For sure, just they asking me, am I willing to play inside? Willing to play outside, and I just tell them I'm willing to do whatever helps the team.
Playing inside.
It's a lot of room, a lot of grass. You have to kind of know where your help is. Know if you're blitzing, you kind of more in run fits. It's probably the biggest difference.
You're already a great player. So whole new level last year. Anybody that helps you take the next step at LSU? For sure. Talk through that development.
For sure, it takes a village. It's not just me at the end of the day. I think the biggest thing for me was being intentful. With my process, the way I went about everything as far as my routine, my eating habits, connecting with some of the LSU guys, asking them, former LSU guys, asking them how, they are as great as they are and what they do to add to my game, and ultimately, doing these daily things, daily routines to become habits. I have met with the Bengals. I would love to do that. Going against guys like that in practice, that makes me a better person. I ultimately feel like this year in practice was my hardest competition sometimes. So when I went on the game days, it was easy.